One summer afternoon in 1902, President Theodore Roosevelt and Naval General Alfred Mahan were about to sit down for their monthly game of Battleship.
Hello, Alfred.
How are you, Mr. President? Very well.
Great minds think alike, I always
That
say.
they do.
Well, old chap, are you ready for our monthly match?
Well, sir, as you know, this is my area of expertise. I always whip you quite soundly in our matches of Battleship.
That's garbage.
I don't wish to toot my own horn, but I do believe
toot,
that I'm
toot.
the greatest mind in the history of the Navy.
You are quite adept in the tooting of your own horn. Let us begin.
Would you like the first move,
I
Mr. President?
will start with the first move, Mr. Mahan. I will strategically place... Well, we seem to have left these red dots in from the last time
we did
played.
indeed.
Let us take them out.
Such shabby
moment.
work. You should have someone on your payroll for
I
this.
should have someone on the payroll for this. That's completely true. Let me begin with the coordinate E5.
E5 is indeed a hit.
Oh, that's grand.
It is a good way to start the match. I will say C7 to retaliate.
C7? How did you know?
Ah, great mind.
Yes, indeed. Well then, I will pick I2.
I2 is indeed a hit. Very nice, Mr.
Yes.
President.
Indeed.
I will take the spot of E2.
E2? That's
E2.
preposterous. How could you figure out my ship's location?
The greatest mind in the Navy.
As always. Well, use my mind powers to I9.
I9 is indeed a hit, Mr. President. Very nice.
Thank you, thank you.
I will have to take
What got me elected?
If only. Surely wasn't my vote. G2.
G2? How in the world do you figure these things out, Alfred?
Greatest mind in the Navy. This guy.
Well then, I shall go for an E, a vowel, and E3.
E3 is indeed a hit, Mr. President. Very nice. I'll have to take my last shot at B7.
Ah, rats, foiled again. How in the world do you possess such secrets to whip me in such fashions?
Why, my dear sweet Teddy, your English is grand as always, and you must already know that I'm the greatest naval mind in the country.
Yes, yes, Alfred, I have heard many times. You are grand and have succeeded in many of our biggest missions, and I don't care. Yada, yada, yada.
You've only taken one of my ships, and I've nearly taken all of yours. How do you explain this?
Now, Alfred, you shan't begin boasting until the war is over.
We shall see. We shall see.
Let us continue. I'll stick with the I's, and I'll go with I8.
You ate? What indeed did you eat, Mr. President?
Oh,
I will retaliate with F2.
F2? F2?
Is that indeed a hit?
Yes, it is.
Marvelous.
Oh my. I'm going to retaliate with H2.
H2? H2 is indeed a hit, Mr. President.
Ha-ha!
Very nice.
Why am I going to put a dot down on my board for that?
Whatever helps
I
you,
seem
sir.
to have left an extra ship on the board.
Shoddy workmanship. We need to get them on the payroll.
Indeed. Shoddy workmanship indeed, my friend.
Do you understand?
I can't seem to fit it in the holes. Oh,
Here nor there.
we'll leave that
I
for
will
later.
take the spot J8.
J8. J8. That's awful. Yes, it's a hit.
Marvelous. Grand it is.
Is it correct that we are 2 spots away? What have I not said now?
I believe
What extra coordinate do I need?
I believe your
I'm going
next
to go for H2.
H2. I do believe you've already taken the spot H2. Would you like to try again, Mr.
I do
Roosevelt?
believe I've missed a coordinates.
A bit rusty, are we, from last game?
A bit rusty indeed. Now,
No way you're going to win legally at this rate.
to go with I-7.
I-7 is indeed a hit and sunk one of my ships.
Got you indeed.
Darn it. I will have to take my decisive victory shot for all the land of the Battleship game. A4.
You've missed. You've missed
No!
again. Mr.
How is this
President.
possible?
Alfred Mahan, I called you Mr. President. How
Mr.
absurd.
If only.
How absurd.
If we only switched jobs, our Navy would only be somewhat weaker.
Might have to give you a smack for that one, Mr.
Oh.
Mahan. Now, I'm going to close out the victory.
Well, well, well. I must say I'm impressed, Theodore. You must have been reading my book.
Indeed, indeed. 'Tis a great piece of literature for a young child to read.
Why, I never. Well then, Mr. President, perhaps I'll just have to dig you into a deeper hole.
Speaking of digging a hole, you've been pushing for a quicker way to get to the western edge of this great country, have you not?
Indeed I have.
Hmm.
I have thought of a grand scheme that only the greatest mind of the Navy and perhaps maybe one other person could have thought of, and it may require your assistance.
Oh, it does it really?
It might.
Are you perhaps thinking of Panama?
Why, yes, Mr. President. I'm
Oh.
quite astounded.
Very nice, old bean. How in the world did you come up with the same idea that I have?
As I've said many time again, I am the greatest mind in the history of the Navy.
Oh my, you are such a boaster. Perhaps you have to taste defeat. Look over there, it's your good friend Woodrow Wilson.
Woodrow Wilson, that scallywag. I'll have to show him the old 1-2. I don't see. There is no such mediocre politician behind me. Oh, Theodore, you and your tomfoolery. Back to the game now.
That was a good one. All right, I will have to strike my winning muster with
Ha
E6.
E6. Oh no, you've
Yes!
won. Oh, Mr. President, this is the first time you've won in a very long time. I must
Decisive
say.
victory indeed.
Dang nabbit, Theo, you sank my battleship. How did you manage to steal the victory from mine own
A
hand?
bit of trickery never hurts.
Teddy, how could you be deceitful to get what you want?
You don't think I'll need to be deceitful to get those rascally Colombians to let me build a canal through Panama? I will take my greatest wit.
Maybe if you sent our naval crusaders, we could persuade them with a bit of big ship politics, as I like to put it. We'll give them a little taste of our Navy.
A little taste. As I always say, speak softly and carry a big stick, eh, Alfred?
Ah, ha, ha, ha. Well, I can see that even with a strong Navy presence as a sort of initiative for the Colombians, we may need to obtain a bigger stick, so to speak, before attempting something of
Might have
this
to learn how to
magnitude.
speak first, Alfred.
That always helps.
I concur, my friend, but what do you propose? I suppose I could shoot the leaders a bit of diplomacy. That could work.
Indeed, Theo, you're just a step ahead of me every time, even in the game.
Now, let's get Panama. But first, I must whip you again, Alfred.
Alrighty then, just one more game. The end.
Indeed.